Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all doing really well in your bubbles. I miss you all so much. One of the things that I really love doing is reading and also reading stories to children. So today I am going to read you a story. Um, when I was a little girl, which was a very long time ago because I'm very, very old, I loved fairy tales and I still do. So I'm going to read you one of my favorite fairy tales. You probably will know the story, most of you, but this one is a little bit different, okay? So this is called, and I know that you've probably seen the words back to front, actually, I don't know if you are, Little Red Riding Hood. Wait, not quite. It's written by Yvonne Morrissey and it's illustrated by Donovan Bixley. Okay, are you ready for this? Little Red Riding Hood, not quite. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Red Riding Hood. Why was she called that? Because she was a little girl and she always wore a red riding hood. So her parents named her after her clothes? It was a nickname. Like if you called me Small Blue Polka Dot Pajamas? Yes, just like that. What's a riding hood? Sort of like a cape with a hood that you wear to go riding. Riding what? A bike? A horse? She wore a hood instead of a riding helmet. That's a bit dangerous. This was the olden days before health and safety regulations. Oh, go on. Okay. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother gave her a basket of baking and told her to take it to her grandmother's cottage in the woods. So Little Red Riding Hood set off, walking through the deep, dark woods. Walking? Yes, walking. Not riding a horse? No, walking. Then why was she wearing her riding hood? It was comfortable. Anyway, Little Red Riding Hood set off through the woods, but it wasn't long before she came across a wolf. Just one wolf? Don't wolves usually hunt in packs? Usually, perhaps. But haven't you ever heard of a lone wolf? Yeah. Well, this guy was one of those. And he said to Little Red, "So this wolf can talk?" Yes. And Little Red didn't think that was weird. No, like I said, this was in the olden days. In the olden days when animals could talk like humans? Never mind that. Anyway, the wolf asked where Little Red was going, and she told him she was going to her grandma's. He told her to take a shortcut, but it was really a longer path. Then he dashed down the real shortcut to Grandma's cottage. Why didn't he just eat the girl right there and then go to Granny's for dessert? He didn't want to be caught eating her in public. So anyway, off he went and knocked on the cottage door. "Who's there?" asked Granny. And the wolf replied in a high voice, "It's me, Little Red." So Granny said, "Come in, dear. The door's unlocked." The wolf nipped into Granny's room and swallowed her down in one bite. Whole? Yes, whole. But how? A whole granny wouldn't fit in the wolf's mouth. If he was a big snake, like an anaconda, I could believe that. But wolves have to chew their prey. They have bone-crushing teeth. Do you want me to change the wolf to an anaconda? Too late, you already said wolf. Okay, well, how about if the wolf coats the granny in honey? You know, like a pill. That might make her easier to swallow. All right, so there was step one, there's Granny. Step two, the wolf coating Granny in honey. Then the wolf looked through Granny's drawers and found a pink nightie and a frilly bed cap and put them on and climbed into bed. Soon he heard a knock at the door. "Come in, dear," he called out. Little Red entered the bedroom. "My, what big eyes you have, Grandma," said Little Red. "Big eyes? But wolves' eyes aren't any bigger than human eyes. They're a different colour, though." Are you sure she didn't say, "My, what yellow eyes you have, Grandma"? No, she didn't. And the wolf said, "Oh, the better to see you with, my dear." Then Little Red said, "What big ears you have, Grandma." The wolf said, "Oh, the better to hear you with, my dear." Huh, wouldn't the shape of the ears be more obvious than the size? Wouldn't she say, "What pointy ears you have, Grandma"? And why would Little Red notice the eyes and ears first anyway? Wouldn't she notice that her grandma has fur and a muzzle and a huge set of canine teeth? I'm getting to the teeth now, finally. And Little Red said, "What big teeth you have, Grandma." Little Red's a bit slow, isn't she? Maybe. And the wolf said, "All the better to eat you with, my dear." And then he sprang out of bed. Little Red screamed as the wolf caught her and gobbled her up. And before you ask, yes, whole, because his throat was already stretched from Grandma. Okay, well, good night. Don't you want to hear the end? I thought that was the end. The wolf ate them both. The end. No, because a woodcutter heard Little Red scream. And he ran into the cottage and sliced open the wood stomach with his axe. Out jumped Little Red and Grandma. How'd the woodcutter open just the wolf's stomach without hurting Granny and Little Red? How? He used to be a surgeon, a doctor. And how come Granny and Red were alive? They would have been dissolved by the stomach acid. Well, Little Red had only just been swallowed, and Granny was protected from the acid by the honey. So everyone was happy. Everyone except the wolf. It wasn't his fault. He has to eat meat. He's a carnivore. Besides, aren't wolves endangered? Well, they weren't in the olden days. But anyway, the woodcutter surgeon got Grandma's sewing kit and stitched the wolf up, and he was as good as new. Good. Then the wolf cutter took him to a sanctuary for wolves, where he made lots of friends and lived happily ever after. The end. Okay? Okay. Well, good night. I hope you really enjoyed that story. Like I said, it's one of my favourite stories. Come back next Friday because I'm going to read you another one, another favourite. This one is The Three Bears, sort of. Have a good weekend and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.